Hello and a warm welcome to Festool TV. My name is Phil. So working with the AGC 18-volt angle grinder can bring many benefits on the construction site and also within the workshop because of the amount of materials that you can be working with. And this can vary from the softer materials to the harder materials. So these may need to be cut or they may need to be sanded. And with these types of softer materials, again, they may need to be cut, for example, around a window. And with this type of mineral material, which is found in bathrooms, of course, this needs to be cut. But these all generate a certain amount of dust. And with the AGC 18-volt angle grinder, on the inside we have this type of brushless motor. With a brushless motor, it then means that with an 18-volt battery on it, it's used really efficiently. So therefore, I can work for a long period of time. But with the amount of dust that's created, it then means that it's protected because the motor is encapsulated. Therefore, it's going to last for a longer period of time. It also means that with a brushless motor, this is much smaller. So the overall ergonomic design of the machine can also be small because it's allowing for the way in which the machine is held. But the motor is also decoupled from the body of the housing of the machine. So the vibration that's caused when cutting these types of materials are not transferred to me while I'm using it. So therefore I can work for a longer period of time. But whether it's a hard material or soft material, the big advantages with the AGC 18-volt angle grinder is that we have variable speed in the machine because each of these materials needs to have a different speed on the disc while it's running, and therefore my battery lasts for a longer period of time, but the quality of the cut that I gain is also of a higher quality. So with the AGC 18-volt, with the correct disc on the machine, I can then work with different types of materials, and this is really wide. So here is only a small selection of what can be done with the AGC. So if I want to work with this type of steel bar, and then I want to take all the material away, all of the debris off the top, then we can work with this type of flap disc. And this is where the variable speed on the 18-volt AGC 18-volt comes into play, because I can slow the speed down, but the torque is kept onto the disc while I'm working, and then I can produce a really good result over a long period of time. If I want to cut this types of softer materials, whether it's clay tile or whether it's working with the mineral-based materials, then again we can work with this type of diamond disc from Festool, and I can slow the speed down, but again have a really good quality cut. And because it's cordless, I can use this up on the roof, no issues of course whatsoever. And then for cutting rebar or for cutting threaded rod, I can work with this type of bonded disc from Festool as well. And you can see at the beginning I was working with this cover on the machine. This protects my fingers, but also it lowers the amount of sparks and dust that's produced as well. So changing discs on the AGC 18-volt is really simple. We can remove the battery to make sure we're safe while we're doing this. And then there's a green button on the underside, and we have this fast fix lever. We can bring this up and then turn this around until it clicks into position. And then we can release the pressure on the thread, and this can then come away. We can take this one out. So I'm going to replace it with this type of shroud, which is generally used for most types of discs. Like I said at the beginning, this one is used for if you're creating a lot of sparks. There's a lever here, we can bring this down. And again, the advantage is that this can be put into any position around the top collar. So if I'm cutting in a slightly awkward position, I can then move this guard around to make sure that I'm protected. So we can take this off the top of the spindle, and then we can replace it with this one. So if maybe I want to swap around and cut a softer material, I can then replace it with the diamond disc. And then the battery back onto the machine as well. So swapping discs for the correct application is a really simple, easy job. And with this one being an accessory, I can then use it with the bonded cut-off disc as well. So working with the AGC 18-volt machine means that I can work for a long period of time because I can work with a brushless motor and also an 18-volt battery. So therefore, it's also encapsulated, which means that I'm going to be protected from dust. Vibration is really low on this machine, and of course, it's covered under Festool warranty policy as well. So I'm Phil from Festool. I hope this has helped your understanding of working with the AGC 18-volt machine, and I'll see you again next time.